的是《Diary of an Awesome Friendly Kid》第15之一。The time Greg played a hairy prank on me. Okay, I know the last chapter didn't have a lot of Greg in it, but I want to mention that story really quick because the Bumpy things totally freaked me out. If you like scary stuff, then you are in luck, because this one is pretty scary too. One day me and Greg were hanging out at my house, and Greg told me he saw on news that were a burglar going around breaking into people's homes. Then he said he had to go home for dinner, and once he left, I started getting scared because my parents weren't around. But here are the things I found out later that Greg just pretended to live. He shut the front door but then stayed inside my home. Slam. He took off his shoes and walked up the stairs super quiet so I couldn't hear him. Then he started stomping around real loud upstairs. At first I thought it was the ghost of Bumpy over again. Then I realized it was probably that brother Greg told me about, and I almost peed my pants for the second time in this book happened. Stomp, stomp. I heard footsteps coming down the stairs, and I ran into the guard to hide from Burger. It was pitch black in the guard, but I didn't want to make a move until I was sure that guy was gone. Then all of a sudden, the door to Greg opened really slow, and I knew the burglar was gonna get me if I didn't do something. So I whacked him in the face with my dad's rag and made a run for it. Whack! Then I ran out the front door and went to Mr. Mon's house to tell her to call the cops. But then Greg came out from my house, and when I found out the whole thing was just one of his hairy pranks. Greg was mad at me for 2 whole weeks, and he said he should know from the way of the footstep sound that it was him and not a burglar. I guess he got pretty good points about that since he is always playing wacky prank on me. So I felt kind of bad whacking him with a tennis racket, but not really. Another time Greg got mad at me. Okay, that story made me remember another time Greg mad at me. Me and Greg are walking home from school a few months ago, and there was slugs everywhere because it just rained the night before. And whenever there are slugs lying around, Greg chased me with one. Scream! This one about the time when I did something. Yeah, I'm supposed to tell you. I guess it's pretty funny if you think about it. It's never less funny when it's happening. Luckily, I'm really fast when someone chases me with a slug, so I got away from work by climbing up on a big rock in Mr. E's East front yard. Greg tries to get me to climb down, but I stay right where I was. If you come down, I probably won't make you eat this slug. Greg tries to fling the slug at me, but he lost his balance and almost fell into a giant puddle in front of the rock. He was stuck, and I felt bad for him because he is my best friend after all. I got down from the rock and tried to help Greg. He told me to pull him back up on his feet, but I guess I heard him warn. I grabbed by his feet, and legs returned out to be a pretty dumb move. Just like this. Sploosh. I don't know what Greg was gonna do once he got out of that puddle, but I didn't want to stick around to find out. So I ran to my house and locked myself in the room and didn't come out until Greg got called home for dinner. The next day, Greg said he was gonna get me back when I least expect it. I just hope Greg forget it because when it comes to play back, he's a good immersion. The time where Greg clicked a special role just for me. Okay, the last two chapters were about Greg got mad at me, but this chapter is totally upset. This one about the time when I did some Greg thought it was really awesome, so he did something really awesome for me. Anyway, this one Saturday last for me and Greg was supposed to hang out at my house, but he said he couldn't because he had to clean his grass, and he said if I came and helped him, it will be done twice as quick, but I said no thanks, I'll wait. Then Greg said if I helped him, he'd give me a half of his Halloween candy. Well, that was really a big deal to me because my parents went through all my candy on Halloween night, and they barely let me keep anything. 3 piles of candy is plenty, Ronly. Grown 就是怎么这样？我看中文版说的。But I knew Greg still had a ton of candy because his parents don't make him throw out anything. So I told him, okay, I'll be right over. Cleaning Greg's garden was hard work, and it took like 3 hours. After we done, Greg said, okay, now let's go and hang out at your place. I said, hey, what about candy? And Greg said, oh yeah, I forgot. But I knew that was gonna happen because whenever Greg owns me stuff, he forgets. We went up to Greg's room and he got his bag of candy out of the closet. But when he emptied out the bag, it was almost all pour. The only things left were 3 jar bacon and a little box of rent. I told Greg he promised me a ton of candy and he said he only promised half. Then he said deal is a deal, and he gave me a jar bag and a bag of resin. Much. I told Greg I was gonna to tell him much. Then Greg got real worried because he said his mom would be mad at him if she found out he ate all his Halloween candy already. Greg said he was gonna give me something way better than candy. Then he got out a pile of paper and pencil and started drawing at his desk. When Greg was down, he handed me a pile of paper and here was on it. Good boy award. Greg said good boy awards are super rare, and you had to do something really awesome to get one. He said I was extra lucky because it was the first ever good boy award he ever gave out, and it was gonna be worth a lot of money. Well, I knew Greg was just lying, trying to get out of giving me candy, and he wants me so tired to attack. Like I saw this good boy over since it was done, but somehow Greg could tell I thought it was kind of cool. Well, that was only first good boy hour. I got a lot more. For the next few weeks, Greg made one every time I did something awesome for him. After a while, I had a ton of good boy hours, and I kept them in cleaner paper sheets so they wouldn't get messed up. But then I started to feel like maybe my good boy hours weren't worth any more since I had so many of them. Plus, Greg was making a new one a lot quicker than he made the first one, and it didn't seem all that special. Good boy hours, yeah. So one time when Greg called and asked me to come down and help him run his yard, and I told him couldn't because I had homework. And Greg said that's too bad because he came up with a totally new kind of good boy award, and he was said I wasn't gonna get to see it. I was like, well, at least tell me about it. And Greg said he couldn't because it was top secret and he didn't wanna ruin the surprise. Then he said he was gonna call Scarlet and see if he wants to help wreck the yard, and I said, okay, I'll be right over. But I wish I knew we had to wreck the front yard and the back because it was a lot of work. Plus, I had to do it myself because Greg was busy making less new hours. When I was finally done, Greg gave me my hours, and I had gonna say it was even more awesome than I thought it would be. This one was called Super Good Boy Award. Greg said one Super Good Boy Award was worth 15 regular Good Boy Award, and I could totally see why. In the next few weeks, I earned a bunch of Super Good Boy Awards, but after a while, even those didn't seem all that less special. Burnside, I was spending a lot of time doing stuff for Greg, and I wasn't getting my own chores done. But every time I told Greg I didn't need any more good boy hours, he came up with something new, and I did have to head that. Double good boy, million 这个是半个字，我不会。Golden Goodie, GBA, Super Duper. After a while, I had so many hours less my blender were stuffed and I couldn't fit new ones in. So I told Greg I was gonna try early anymore, no matter what. But Greg said okay because he's made up a whole new set and I should probably just restore my hours. I was pretty mad because I worked hard for those hours and now Greg said that they were totally worthless. But I was still serious about this new thing, so I asked him about it. Greg said the new idea was called Little Goodies, and it was a point stand and there wasn't any picker inside. Greg said every time I did something nice for him, I'd get little goodie points. And once I got 15 little goodies, I'll get a fantastic treat. I was like, okay, what a price. And Greg said he couldn't tell me, but it was under a shed in his bedroom. Well, I couldn't figure out what was under the sheets, but I could guess. And a lot of my gifts were things I really want. So I spent a month doing lots of things for Greg, and he gave me a little good point each time, like he promised. Eventually, I got to 50 little goodies, and I told Greg I was ready to turn them in for less fantasy price. But Greg told me that since it was the first day of the month for my little good thing, total got raised back to 0. And I said, well, you never told me about that rule. And he said, well, you never asked. I was really mad and a younger shoot off the fantastic press so I couldn't see what it said. But guess what? It was laundry bags filled with dirty clothes. I told Greg he was a crummy friend for making me do all that work for phone press. But he said the laundry things were just a test to see if I'd pick and let I fail the test. Then he said real press was slack and blankness, and then now I was gonna have to earn 100 little goodness to get it. All I can say is I'm not a fool. I'm gonna to take my time early lost little goodies. So if Greg thinks I'm in rush to get the Texas press, he's gonna to be disposed. OK， 那今天先到这里，拜拜。